tuning back in. Today's look is a Thanksgiving, November, December holiday inspired tutorial. I went with more olive tones, as you can see. I hadn't gotten a makeup tutorial out for you guys in a really long time, so I needed to get here and do it. So here it is. Everything that I use in the video is of course going to be listed down below for you to take a look at and shop around with if needed. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe so you can stay tuned for more videos coming soon. The subscribe button is down below. It's that little red thing. I don't know where it's at, but it's somewhere down here. And before I start this video, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for helping me reach 40,000 subscribers. It's just such a freaking huge accomplishment for me, and I can't believe that I'm at 40K on YouTube. Can we get to 50K before the end of the year though? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. But I hope so. Alright, and I'm gonna stop talking now. So if you want to know how to recreate this look, then go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, now we are back with our first makeup tutorial in a while. I was looking at my videos and I was like, dude, you haven't come out with a fucking makeup tutorial in hella long. And a lot of you guys on Snapchat were totally calling me out for it, so here we are. We're gonna start off with Vaseline, good old Vaseline, and just moisturize our lips, cause definitely needed these days. Hi Dad.
¿Qué pasó, gorda?
What you doing?
¿Dónde vas o qué?
Ningún lado. I'm recording a video for YouTube. Prior to filming, I've already filled in my eyebrows. I use an Anastasia brow definer in the shade medium brown and cleaned up with some MAC Studio Finish concealer in the shade NC20. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the Shape Tape concealer in the shade light medium, and we're just going to use this as a primer for our eyeshadow. Picking up Morphe's E8 brush and just pressing this in. A lot of you guys asked me to be a little bit closer when filming an eye portion of the tutorial, but it's really hard. I feel like you need the right settings, the right lens, and I'm in a small room, you know, you gotta work with what you got. So taking Dermablend, this is their loose setting powder, and using Morphe's M512 brush just to press this in and set the concealer in place. Now for the rest of this tutorial, I'm going to be using Glam 22's makeup brushes. This was sent to me by the owner, Susie. She reached out to me on Instagram and asked if she could send me these, and I was like, dude, hell yeah. I'm really excited to try these out because I was like feeling them. I was like, what? I was shook. To give you a better idea, these are pretty much all the brushes that come in the set. Let me take these out. Oh, okay. Before our crease colors, we're going to be using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. So picking up the G7 brush and dipping into White Peach, the lighter color, and we're going to be using this as a brow bone highlight right underneath the arch of the brow, ever so slightly. Now we're going to dip into Georgia. This is going to be our first crease color. This was like my favorite crease color for a minute, you guys, like fucking favorite. And I'm pretty generous with my crease shade. I always tend to bring it up really high. Not only that, but I'm going to kind of hug the inside of my nose here, just kind of start a slight contour. And this brush is super firm, you guys. Holy fuck. Now we're going to dip into the shade Puree, which is this bad boy right here. Same brush. Instead of bringing this more in, we're just going to focus this on the outer corner here, just like so. And don't be afraid to pull this shade out, because what happens here is you end up cleaning it up anyway. Also, yes, I'm working with a broken nail. Let's not judge, okay? After adding in the slightly darker shade on the crease, I'm going to want to open up the eyes a little bit more just to kind of see what we're working with. So I'm going to take the middle shade here. This one's called Nectar, with that first brush that we use, the G7 brush, and we're literally just popping this in the inner corner, but also pulling it up. I don't worry too much about dragging it underneath right now, because when I go in with concealer, it inevitably like covers it up a little bit, so just kind of bring it up more than you bring it down. I'm also going to pick up some of that first brow bone color, the White Peach, and intensifying it a little bit more. So I'm kind of envisioning the eye shape that I want to do, and I want to make my lid appear a little bit bigger than it is. So what I'm going to do is go back in with that Puree, and I'm going to drag this into the middle of my eye more. So as opposed to keeping it on the outer third, I'm going to kind of make it so that it's just halfway. And you do this by just picking up the product on the belly of the brush, not the tip, and laying it down flat on the lid. This makes it a lot easier, and it pretty much just does all the work for you. So the trick to making your lid appear a lot bigger than it is to go in with the base that you used again and carve out your lid shape. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this before with other beauty gurus who have done this in their videos. When I saw it, I was like, yes, I gotta try it. And it's a little bit tricky to get, but once you have the technique down, like, you can do it in like 2 seconds. I'm really not careful with it at first. I take the concealer, place like a little dot in the inner 1/3 of it, of the eye, I'm sorry, and then you're gonna look straight. When you look straight, what happens is the crease, your lid, your lid and your crease kind of meet, so you're able to see just how like high up you should get it. So if you see here, I would not have brought up my lid that high unless that concealer told me to do so. I'm picking up the G27 brush and taking a little bit of it and just kind of start working around it. Don't mess with the outer half, just work with the inner half. Oh, this is so hard to do. I need like a table to lay on or a bigger mirror, first of all. Desi, how you do this, girl? And you want to kind of just start dragging the product. So you see how I've just created like a little half moon shape? Now just bring it down. And with whatever you have left on your brush, instead of working on the belly, work on the skinniest part of it and just kind of go back and forth, so that you can blend the concealer into that puree color. It doesn't have to be perfect, so don't overthink it. So with Thanksgiving coming up, I kind of want to use a very vibrant olivey color on the lid. So what not better to use in the Dose of Colors Desi Katy eyeshadow quad. I'm going to be taking the shade Harpoon, and because I have a broken nail, this is gonna work perfect. I'm going to take some Fix Plus, get it into the eyeshadow pan, swirling my finger around, and we're just going to press this onto the eye. And you gotta be really careful not to mess up that shape you're working with. So now we have an awkward distinction between the lid color and the crease color. So we're going to melt the two in together. And we're going to do that by going back into the Sweet Peach palette, picking up the shade Summer Yum. We're gonna pick up the shade Summer Yum with that same G4 brush, haven't switched from it, going with the belly of the brush again, like I said, and helping those just melt right in there. So looking at this, I really want the inner corner to pop out more. So I'm going to be going back in and picking up the color Seuss from the quad in that G7 brush, popping this in here. Okay. Oh yes, that's exactly what this look needed. Next thing I'm going to do is just curl my lashes a bit, give myself some mascara. I'm going to be using the Volumious Lash Paradise mascara from L'Oreal. If you haven't seen my video on it, I do a first impression on this, and I compare it to the waterproof to see which one is better. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below or right around here for you to take a look at it. And yeah, let me do this. I'll be right back. So we've got the mascara down. I'm going to go in with the Neutrogena Makeup Remover wipes now, and we're just going to clean up the bottom of the eye. I was going to do this off camera, but then I figured I was going to get yelled at, so I'm going to do it on here. This is exactly why I do foundation last. I don't know how people can do foundation first. I salute whoever does it though, because I couldn't do it. And then with this, you're able to just kind of pull the shadow out a bit. So next thing we're going to do is go in with lashes. I'm going to be using the Violet Voss lashes in Vamptress. I'm going to apply these off camera, and I'll be right back to show you what we do on the waterline. So for the waterline, I'm going to be taking MAC's Eye Kohl pencil in the shade Fascinate, what the fuck? Oh god. In the shade Fascinating. It's just a flat white eyeshadow. I really enjoy using it though because it completely opens up the shape of my eye, which tends to be a lot smaller since the lashes are a little overwhelming. Not overwhelming, but they do make the eyeshadow appear a lot darker. I still want to kind of keep it open, keep it awake, keep it fresh, keep it moving. If you want to take this a step further and make it appear a lot more bright and longer lasting, then you can take Gesso eyeshadow by MAC as well. It's a flat white eyeshadow, it's matte. Just press it on top of the waterline and it's gonna set it to more of a powdery consistency so that it does wear a lot longer. But I'm not gonna keep this on for long, so we're just gonna leave it as is. For my primer, I'm gonna be using Fenty Beauty's primer. So we're gonna do. It's been my favorite for a while since it first came out because it is more of a hydrating consistency. I don't like when it completely smooths the skin out. Like, I like it to feel more hydrating than silky. The foundation I'll be using today is by NARS. It's the Sheer Glow Foundation in the shade Stromboli. And to apply it, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Yes, I like this guy. No more pale bitch. Grabbing about 2 pumps of this. And we're just going to apply this, okay? We're going to fast forward this so I can listen to some music.
One hour later. 2 hours later. 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
And if you haven't guessed, my concealer of choice hasn't changed. I'm still going to be going in with Tarte's Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium. And we're just going to highlight the face with this. So to warm up the skin, I'm going to be using Bobbi Brown's Stick Foundation in the shade Chestnut. I'm not going to apply this directly on my skin. I'm going to apply it on the back of my hand, pick it up with the beauty sponge, sorry, and then just press it in the areas where I want to warm up the skin a bit more. So because we have a lot of the contour on the bottom of the sponge, I'm going to be going in with the tip of the sponge and blending out the concealer lines that creased and making sure that we set with the Dermablend translucent powder. So after we've gone in and baked with that translucent powder, I'm going to pick up the bronzer, and this is going to soften up the contour shape. This is MAC's Give Me Sun. It's the only bronzer that I use because it's just amazing. And I'm picking this up with the G1 brush. I go like this, like if you guys can actually read it, like who am I? What I'm inevitably doing is just kind of knocking off the baking underneath the cheeks, which is totally fine. And I'm using a big brush because I don't want the contour to be too defined, ironically. Now picking up the G34 brush, this is more of like a smaller, denser brush. And I'm nicking off the powder on my chin and my nose. I'm leaving what's underneath my eye for right now. So picking up the G10 brush, this is just a flat definer brush, going back into the Sweet Peach palette, and we're gonna work with the same crease shades that we did on the crease, and we're gonna apply it onto the lower lash line. So the first color I'm going to pick up is Summer Yum, which was that last color that we used, the deeper brick color. This is getting pushed into the lash line, just right below it. Now picking up the G29 brush, dipping into Puree, which was that second crease shade that we used. And this is just going to smoke out that Summer Yum color. Now I'm going to mix Puree and Georgia, just getting the perfect consistency between the two. And I'm going to take this a little further back just so that it meets the crease shades over here. Now going back in with that more dense brush, and we're going to knock off the translucent powder. Now before I go in with any blush, any highlighting powder, anything of that sort, I'm going to set my face with Max Fix Plus. I know that I haven't set my makeup with a powder, but I figure the translucent powder is enough. I don't want it to be too matte. I want to keep this look a little bit more fresh, more dewy, because my skin does tend to be a little bit more dry around these months. Inhale that. I like to do this before my mascara as well, because since I do spray a lot of it, if the mascara runs, then you're kind of fucked. So I'd rather avoid it. Now while the skin is still a little bit damp, I'm going to go in with my highlighting powder. I'm going to be using Dose of Colors Desi Katy collection Fuego, because it is just perfect. And picking this up with the G2 brush, which is just a tapered brush, perfect for highlighting. Using the belly of the brush to take advantage of its shape, and placing this on the outer half, kind of wrapping on top of the brow. Ever so slightly. Do you see that? Oh. Wait a minute now! Ah! You wait a minute, Daniela. And then taking a little bit on the tip of my nose, right on my chin and right up above the brow bone. Oh, can't forget the Cupid's bow. For my blush, I'm going to be using Too Faced I Will Always Love You. So to apply the blush, I'm using the G22 brush. For this, I'm going to smile and not hit it on the apple of the cheeks directly, because then when you smile, when you're not smiling, it can kind of droop down a bit. So I'm going in with the same shape that we did for the highlighting powder, and we're just going to kind of pull it back, especially because my hair's in a ponytail too, and I feel like it can totally just, it goes with it more. Right up top here. I'm just kind of pushing it in and then pulling it back. Alright, fuck, and then we're smiling and hitting it on there too. Yes. Okay. So before I go in with my mascara, I'm going to go in with Fix Plus one more time. Alright, so my skin is pretty much dry now, and I do a lot to my lower lash line in terms of mascara. I go in with MAC's Extended Play Gigablack Lash first. After that, I go in with the L'Oreal Volumious Lash Paradise Mascara in the waterproof formula. So that it can last longer, I take a whole fucking 10 minutes doing it, so I'm gonna fast forward, but y'all are gonna see what I'm doing. So for my lips, I'm going to be using MAC's Stripdown Lip Pencil, Dose of Colors, Bear With Me Liquid Lipstick, and either one of these lip glosses. Whichever one I use, I'll let you know. I'll probably end up using both, but I'll let you know which ones they are. It's going to work in my head, so let's just hope it actually works in person. As expected, I ended up using both lip glosses. I hope I don't get lip gloss on my teeth right now. First lip gloss that I used was Sugar Sugar by Marc Jacobs. You guys honestly need this in your life. It is the best thing ever. And then on top of that, I used the I Love Sarai Colourpop Collab lip gloss in the shade Curvii. I wanted it to be a little bit more golden as opposed to cool tone, which the Sugar Sugar is. Still love it though. So I went in with this on top, and I mainly do it for, I fucking love lip gloss now that I don't wear Invisalign, so I gotta make up for time lost and just put on 20 different coats of it, you know? That completes the look though. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking through to the end to watch this. Let me know if you try recreating this look for your Thanksgiving or just holiday festivities or November festivities or December festivities or whatever holiday festivities. I'd love to see how it turns out for you. Let me know what videos you want to see next, and until my next video guys, bye.
Whoa, ¿me vas a hacer un recording?
What? Picking up the shade Shumber Yum. It's for the video, the YouTube. And then the L'Oreal.
For YouTube?
For YouTube. And then the L'Oreal Lash Voluminous Lash. What?
¿Y con cuál lo haces? ¿Con esa grande?
Huh?
¿Con la máquina esa? ¿Grande?
Yeah.
¿Con la de esa?
And then the L'Oreal Lash.
Ahorita estamos grabando, ¿verdad?
Yeah. In the waterproof formula. Dude, I can't fucking speak English today.
¿De veras?
Yeah, that's why it's red right there. That's how that it lost.